headed back to Wyoming this week to hunt with our good buddy Nate Madison, chasing some mule deer. Well, we're on the last leg of our journey. We went about 22 hours yesterday to the end of South Dakota. Just came out of Buffalo, Wyoming. We're crossing the Bighorn Range right now, getting ready to drop into Tensleep, Wyoming, out here to see our buddy Nate Madison again. Nate's been seeing some pretty good animals, so hopefully we'll be able to get on some. The weather is in stark contrast to last year. It's almost 60 degrees out here. Probably going to be in the upper 60s, possibly even 70 degrees. So that's not ideal. We were in very cold weather. Actually got caught in a snowstorm last year, so big difference there. More comfortable, I guess. So we'll look at it that way. But we're looking forward to it. Last year it was necessary for us to go on a German death march to try to find some deer, and I was packing my big gun. This is one's got the 5x20 Husky on it, but it weighs 14 pounds, so I've actually got my little gun this time. This has got the 4-16, perfect for this size of gun. It's a lightweight gun, so we'll just kind of wait and see what we've got to do to get to some deer. We're ready one way or the other, though. Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. We get out and get our gun shot this evening, or you want to try to
let's go
do
shoot.
something?
Let's go shoot your gun. We're gonna go to a different range tonight. The range we used last year has got cattle in it right now.
Okay.
So we'll go up to my buddy's house and try her out.
Sounds good, bro.
This segment brought to you by Onyx Maps.
Once we got the gun shot in and our gear ready, it was time to get after it. Well, our first evening was going to be spent behind the glass. There's a lot of country to cover out here, so it's always best to let the glass do the walking for you. Welcome to the Wild Wild West.
That's all you can do. Got a strange here though. Do you want to watch that some more before dark? Yeah, let's go back off that one point. Not the one we were on, but that next one up. I had a group of deer down there about a week ago. coming up feeding in that bottom. Worth checking. Yeah, we've got some time left. Yeah, we got all of an hour and a half.
Didn't see anything at this spot, so we decided to move back to our original spot. Just a little different perspective, a little different spot. And it didn't take long to start seeing some deer.
Four more spotted right down here. 22 in the bottom, and then 6 up top. No bucks that we can find anyway. We're hoping, with that many does around there, had to be one pop out, but we're running that line fast here, so it's awful pretty evening though. Freaking incredible view.
This segment brought to you by Huskama Optics.
Well, the gear we want to talk to you about today is something that you may or may not be aware of. If you followed us much, you know we're a huge fan of Huskama scopes. That's all we use. But this is something new. This is Huskama's new 10x42 Blue Diamond HD binoculars. And let me tell you, I would put these up against anything that we've ever used. And again, if you've watched us much, you know that we try to use high quality glass. Glassing is such an integral part of what we do. It's hugely important. These things are 42mm objective, 10 power obviously. Got a HD coating on the lenses for super clarity, great light transmission, and they're a little bit more compact than what we are accustomed to. Got a real hard armor coating, and let me tell you, we have abused these season. They've been in 5 different states and bounced around the truck and everything else, and they still operate just like new. Lifetime warranted. Great product. You need to try them. So check them out. You can find them at www.huskamaoptics.com, and you can also purchase these and other great Huskama products through us now at www.greenbacktacticalhunters.com. The next morning we hooked up with Nate's head guide, Jordan Winkler. Jordan knows this country inside and out, and we were looking forward to spending the day with him.
Just in case you're wondering who this guy is, this is Jordan. This is one of Nate's main guys. He's been working this area right here, so he kind of knows the ins and outs and where they're at and where they should be, so he's the one that's going to try to kill us today. Or we're going to kill something.
I'll kill you, kill something.
As you can see, it's after daylight. He's got a spot. There's some deer coming off the field. On the other side of this ridge, there's a big bowl. Kind of letting the deer work across and get in here before we get over there, so we don't bugger them up with the wind. I guess that's a pretty good synopsis, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Kind of what you got going. Hopefully we'll catch them still on their feet to be able to see them. If not, may have to just put them to bed or let them bed, and then try to see if we can't glass them up. So that's the plan anyway. Let's do it.
Get up by this point here. We'll be able to look up in. We'll also be able to see the bottom where they come up. We don't have much cover to come over right here, so we gotta
Swing down low.
swing down and come back around and get behind some junipers and hang out.
got something spotted coming up the bottom, which is what they expected. Looks like just does, but we've kind of got to get in position here. We're set out by side. That's one thing about coming out here, you cannot beat the view. He's over there eating on a dead deer. It would definitely help. We kind of hunted this spot out anyway, so. Been through about 3 of these big draws and hiked about 5 miles. And we were getting ready to leave and saw this dog come in. And anytime you get a chance, with, just for predator control, take advantage of it. Pretty nice big coat already. Yeah. Pretty good sized dog too.
This segment brought to you by Caldwell Shooting Supplies.
Well, as always, we had a great day with Jordan. Just didn't find the deer that we were looking for. We got to see plenty of deer. Nate was going to have to get back to his hunters, so we were going to try a piece of ground on a river bottom that we knew about. Had our fingers crossed.
On the back of the field right there. We're going to have to do something a little different tonight. Nate had to get back with these guys and get back with his hunters, so he was kind enough to help us out for a few days. So we ended up getting in contact with a landowner here. We're going to try something different. Got just a day and a half left, actually 2 half days left. And we're going to hunt some river bottoms. Got some mule deer that we've seen and a couple whitetails. We're going to try to pop a blind up here real quick and jump in it for the evening. We've just got 3 or 4 hours left, so, and we've got some on the back of the field here. So. Few does starting to hit the field. We did see a good mule deer in here, that's why we ended up on this place. Don't know a lot about it, we just looked over the map on our GPS. Not a good place to set up where we did see the mule deer, but we're backed way off. We don't have long to hunt it, we just kind of got a spot where we could cover the most ground. We're going to have some pretty long shots. Back of this field's 5.5 and it's about 7.5 to the back of the next field. But we didn't want to get in there and booger them up either, so we're just hoping they'll come out here. But the ones that are feeding out here 300 or 400 yards are working this way, so maybe we'll get lucky and have a buck come out this evening to finish up our Wyoming adventure here.
Just at dark, we spotted what we thought was a shooter. Just didn't have the light to tell, didn't have the light for the camera. He was about 800 yards out. So the next morning we ditched the blind, got out on the ground, got above that particular field in a spot that we'd have a vantage point to see if we could catch him coming off the field. We figured he'd be there all night. We'd try to catch him early.
him run. He's probably still right around 440.
Just didn't quite have enough light. Couldn't make it out. They'd left the field. The good thing was we knew exactly where they were going, so the race was on. We were going to try to cut them off. We spotted a guy. He was down in the bottom. We were up on the bench. We had to belly crawl out to the edge of the bench, try not to be silhouetted. Mickey actually had to take the camera off the tripod, belly crawl up to the edge, hold it on the ground, and try to get the shot. Quite a fiasco. As much as I'd like to celebrate, we've worked so hard. I just jumped up, both legs straddled right in a big cactus. I mean, right in them. Well worth the pain. This is always a little tough out here, and as always, we took it down to the wire. We need to be on our way to Montana. It opens in the morning, and we've got a bunch of work to do, but man, that was awesome. Mick spotted the body on this thing. We've been just trying to hope something would get up and mill around. We got out here, we could just look right down in the bedding area, just thick as all get out, and we're just seeing a piece here and there, so they were still moving. We actually had to belly crawl up here. We got no cover, so we just stayed on our belly glass, and he spotted that, and we finally saw a frame. So, and for this area, that's a good deer.
Yeah, that's a good deer.
So we're tickled. I'm tickled. Yeah, go deer though. He'll definitely do though. A little bit of a hike to get over here and find him. We shot him across the river. Had to call Nate up and let him show us the road system over here so we could figure out how to come back in here and get him. But a little bit of a drag out, but it was well worth it. Came right down the wires. Like I said earlier, we've got to be in Montana later tonight, so we were tickled to death to get him. Really good, respectable animal for this area, and heck of an exciting hunt, that's for sure.